Dan Lutz, and Tank is somewhat here. He's on the line, but actually on calling someone to get an update on a story. So we'll just hold on from him. But welcome to the front lines and the battle against the deep state, the cabal, the Illuminadonkeys, and all those that wish to empower themselves over everyone else, for their own selfish reasons, and for the overall bad news for all of mankind. But, we're here to report that they are losing, and they're losing badly. So, we've got some interesting things that are going on here. I'm going to bring up an immediate story while we're kind of waiting for Tank to get back on here. Well, it's actually...
No, I'm here, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But go ahead with that story. That's important. So.
Sure. Okay, well, we're here. Actually, it was already up. So I was not up, but the story was up. Manpower guidance for activation and deactivation of reserve component Marines ordered to activate active duty ISO, which is in support of defense support of civil authorities. Now, this is basically saying that the Marines have been called up, and this was dated from the 3rd of October, so basically just 3 days ago. And some background on what's going on here. This is the actual order, but it's also referencing a bunch of other previous orders, and that to clarify, some of these were being deactivated and activating others. But all in all, it's meant to create one a new order to encompass all the previous ones to say, be ready. And if we bring up this one, based on this is from today by Mike Adams on newstarget.com. U.S. Marines Reserve units activated for emergency within the United States, which will come with little warning, cites threats in the homeland. So, breaking news update concerning the directive involving the United States Marine Corps Reserves units via Mirandus number 550/19, signed on October 3rd, 2019, authorized by Brigadier General Daniel L. Shipley, Direct Manpower Plans and Policy. Notably, Brigadier General Daniel L. Shipley was nominated by President Trump to the rank of Major General, accordingly in to January 16th, 2019 Defense.gov press announcement. Before serving in his current role, Shipley served as Deputy Director, Program Analysis and Evaluation Programs, Department of Programs and Resources for U.S. Marines. This new order is summarized as Marines ordered to active duty ISO defense support of civil authorities. The term ISO means in support of. See text order here, which is where we started. Note, there is disinfo being circulated about this order, claiming it was canceled, but the canceled order is 300/14, not 500/19. In fact, this new order, 500/19, replaces a lot of previous orders, reestablished the urgency of the situation in making sure any action to defend the homeland is authorized by orders that are in good standing. Many observers are concerned that with Democrats like Representative Tlaib openly talking about which prisons to use for imprisoning President Trump and his cabinet, and with Hillary Clinton positioning herself to run for president, and with the IG's FISA abuse report set to drop in a few weeks, the deep state Democrats have reached a point of desperation where they may attempt to initiate a hot coup, kinetic engagement, arrest or execution of the president and his cabinet to avoid going to prison themselves. So
wait.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Say that last part again.
So many observers that are concerned that with Democrats like Representative Taib openly talking about which prisons to use for President Trump and his cabinet, and Hillary Clinton positioning herself to run for president, and with the IG's FISA abuse report set to drop in a few weeks, the deep state Democrats have reached a point of desperation where they may attempt to initiate a hot coup. Kinetic engagement, arrest of, or execution of the president and his cabinet to avoid going to prison themselves.
Yeah. Okay. So I think I'm getting calls from all over the place right now. Like anything's coming in, information coming in from everywhere. So as a public service announcement, I want to put this right to all of the white hats out there who have been fighting the good fight, expecting the RV to go. There is not going to be an RV. You are protecting Chinese elders, which are not benevolent. They do not have your best interest in mind, and this ends badly. Walk away from that fight. Do not engage and follow their orders if they tell you to go take down the president. The president is for the Constitution, and he is for the people. That is the truth. And the Chinese elders and the Roth are for themselves. And you know that because of the things they've had you do, including execute people because they put codes in and they didn't work and they had to be killed on the spot. So you know that. You know that you had that they've put contracts out and hits on people that you knew were innocent. So please, any of the guys out there in the white hats, come to your senses, walk away, go home, protect your kids, and run away from this thing. Because you are about to go to war within the country if you do something like this with people that train the same way you did. But they got a lot more guns, and they've got a lot of other things that you don't have.
Well, for number one is they have intelligence. They have access to the intelligence. Yeah. I'm not really talking about brains at this point, but we could make an argument for that. You're supporting the Chinese elders, communist China. Think about where you're at. They're benevolent. They want to give me a lot of money. Really?
I'm telling you, all the guys out there. These are good for the most part. There's a lot of good men out there, right? Who just don't have the whole story. They just don't realize that they don't have the whole story.
Right.
They keep being fed things, and not only that, but they keep being fed things, and they keep getting elevated through a system that is corrupt. Now, the Chinese elders and Rothschilds, all these characters have been warned. The end for them is tragic and catastrophic. Now, all of the mercenaries who are still there, they don't have money to pay you. Their intent is to kill you. If you turn your back on them, they will kill you. Mm-hmm. They don't care about you. They don't care about your children. And they don't care about the world. They're trying to survive. If you initiate contact against Trump, I don't care what position you're in or any place else, you are going to leave in a body bag. That is a fact. There is no way out going that way. They don't have control of anything, and they are not the biggest kid on the block. They're just not. They're not the strongest, the toughest, the smartest. They're not anything. Walk away. Hashtag walk away from the Chinese elders. Okay?
All right. Hashtag run away.
But the reason why I'm repeating this so much because it's really, really essential. Because what they're trying to do is exactly what they did to spark the Civil War. You turn brother against brother, man against man, over an issue that you think is the most relevant, but in reality it's not. They make it about slavery, about owning land, about taking, they make it appear that you're fighting the good fight for something. Meanwhile, it's all to cover up an amendment that was passed to stop the attorneys from running everything.
Right. That's what people don't really get. It wasn't about slavery, the Civil War. Whoever wins writes the history books, right? So, they won, right? The bankers won. The cabal of the time won, and they rewrote the history, and they even wiped out an amendment that was already certified. But
But but the reality is they didn't, though, right?
That's true.
Because that amendment is still live.
Yes.
It was published in 8 different journals. Therefore, it is in the Congressional Library, and it is part of not just history, but it's an active amendment that still is there. Just for the record, right?
Oh, I just figured out something. How we can tell in Congress which ones are actors. It's very simple. If they're not an attorney, like AOC, you're an actor. Because the attorneys hired actors to play some parts, right? Yeah, in other words, because how many people? I remember when I was looking first in Congress back when I was in high school, and I'm looking. I said everyone's an attorney. Why does that make any sense? I mean, these, it's, no wonder things are so complicated.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No, it's true.
Yeah.
I mean, it's everything they do. It's amazing to me right now. I saw AOC there, Cortez. I feel I've been very kind to Cortez. I really, I always, I'm always just hoping that people will kind of turn a corner, and so I'm always like offering her unsolicited advice, that's what she doesn't care about. But I'm always trying, just hoping that she'll catch something and something will spark within her. Like, wait a minute, that makes sense, because I don't think she's, she isn't completely devoured by the cabal system, right? Like, she's not born bloodline family. She is, someone who's just a regular kid who grew up in the Bronx, right? And she's cute and she's bartending and personable. And she went into an acting call and became, a congressperson, which is freaking awesome, man. It's amazing, and that, honestly, that's what you should be. Not exactly like that. That's more appropriate than being raised your whole life to lie to the world,
right.
Be part of a clandestine plan to, commit genocide, right? So, but so I'm always, but I watch her today, and she comes out, and they're just always just saying things. It's just ridiculous. They're trying to say that President Trump is a racist, anti-Semitic, obvious attacks against Adam Schiff. I'm like, obviously, because Schiff clearly is very devoutly Jewish, right? Because he always wears a yarmulke. Or, his last name is Schiff, and we should know that he's Jewish? Like, are you kidding? You think President Trump gives a damn about what his religion is? He's a scumbag criminal. So now, because he's Jewish, we're not supposed to point out criminals? Because that's actually written in the Practical Idealism, and also in the there's another book that's out there that is I forget what it's called, but that actually goes through the plans of the Islamic Brotherhood, and it says how they, anytime they get close to the truth, just claim racism. Right, that's the plan.
Yeah, well, that's obviously their plan, or Nazi. One of the two.
So I realized how ridiculous that is. What a joke it is, right? Because it really is. It really is just the human race. There's other races here, but I don't hear anybody talking about like anti-galactic anything, right? But anti-Bigfoot. I mean, who could be anti-Bigfoot? But it's like, so there's the human race. So I'm a behaviorist. When I see people act like dangerous to myself or others, I'm anti-that. I'm anti-ignorance. Very anti-ignorance. So, anyways, all this is very exciting. It's all amazing to me that's still going on.
Well, it's an amazing time, because we can see the desperation that the Democrats have right now with Nancy Pelosi and Adam Schiff. Adam Schiff now it's shown that he's written the whistleblower report. Right now, it's like how much more of a setup did they try to pull on Trump, and he flipped the whole thing on them, and now they're so panicked that they're now talking about really going straight for the coup. Right? They have no choice now, right? Because they can't. They don't have a candidate to run with. Right? They're going to bring Hillary. Warren is not going to make it. Biden's not going to make it. Any of the others, they're not really. None of them can hold up against Trump. Not one of them. And they're in a position that they're going to now have the declassification come down on top of them, reveal all the stuff that's going on, and they're going to look even worse. I mean, they look bad now, but people are going to be chasing them in the street. They're talking about sending people after the Republicans that are sitting in restaurants and going and chanting outside their homes. These people are not going to be able to walk down the street. I mean, Q said this. These people will not be able to walk down the street when people actually know what's been going on, when everyone's awake. And they know this is coming. So now they're at the point of that the Marines, Trump had to call up the Marines to go into every city, every town to hold order. I mean, he executed a command, an executive order, to call up the military to go on U.S. soil. This is not a small thing.
No, certainly not.
It's not small. It's not. By the way, this happened. Go about your business. No, get water, get food, put it away. Get at least 2 weeks. Get whatever you can. Use your credit cards. And if there's a time to use your credit card, if you have credit, get some staples that can last for a month. Because it could be.
I would say this. How about this for a little bit of a, softer view on this?
Sure.
There is really, I want you to think about how powerful this is, right? The Chinese came in to Pakistan, right, in that hotel, fully armed, ready to start a war. They got hit with a frequency and they were turned around. Nothing happened. Iran, fully ready to wage war. Even like drone strikes and all types of things. Nothing's happening. North Korea allegedly letting off bombs, right? Launching missiles. Trump and Kim Jong Un now they play Xbox every Thursday. I mean, it's changed that much. Like now here we go, right? The drama crats, right? Because that's what they are, the drama cats, right? Drama cats, yeah, drama crats. Like there's drama all the time, drama, right? Like we cannot. They will be literally caught feasting on a baby's intestines, right? And then look up with blood all over their mouth. Like, can you believe Trump? Like, are you out of your mind? At some point, the people have got to come together and be like, wait a minute. I don't know if we're on the right side here. Now, this is what has happened. You have this hierarchy that included the Jesuit military and others, right? Now, I have heard the same, the Dunford and others, which are people that, I used to get intel from and always believed them to be good guys and always seemed to steer me the right way. But, they were also the problem, at one point because they were loyal to this other group, right? And, but I believe, people, they realize things are going on. I don't think they're bad necessarily. They just realize finally what's going on. So, I believe, and there could just be a bigger plan altogether. Altogether, just that I didn't have any knowledge of it all. But where we're at right now, what I can say for sure is that I know that there has been wars going on, defending exchange centers and banks and all types of things for years. I know because as these things would happen, I knew people who got killed in these things, right? They were just, this was on American soil and nobody knew about it. It wasn't on the news, nobody's talking about it. And these were people, this was American soldiers against American soldiers. And at the time, one group looked like they thought they were the good guys. And on the other side, they thought they were the good guys, right? And the reality is, yes, they were both good guys. It was the ones who were directing them above them that were neither of which were good guys. Now, finally, you have good people at the very top with Kim, and I would say President Trump is a good guy, and he's right at the top as well, right? And they are, so there's now, finally, there's clear sides. The other side wants to kill you and enslave you, period. There is no other way out. That is what will happen if they win. Any mercenary out there, anybody you know who might be a mercenary, does contract work, anything like that, send them this and tell them this is what they're setting you up to do. The minute they get what they want, they will kill you too. The minute they get it, you will be of no value to them. They consider you slaves. I saw the email myself from the Rothschilds. They said outright, they said, the military are our slaves. That's what they said. Because many of the military believe them to be gods. Now, I don't care what parlor trick you might have seen, the Rothschilds or Chinese elders, what you might have seen them do. They are not omnipotent. They are not eternal. They are not everlasting. They do not have the secret to the fountain of youth. The secret to the fountain of youth is you. It's already in you, and it's in the planet, and you're connected to it. Do not allow them to destroy the planet. Do not take any actions which hurt the people. Just stand down.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, this is essential. It's essential what's happening right now. This is big, big business right now. But, Dan, I will say this. This doesn't mean panic. Because what I would say is this. I think the real reason why he called the military in is to take over the banks. Finally, right? Now, this is just my speculation. Kim didn't tell me this, but the military comes in. At least they're in position to take over the banks. So either the banks will comply, because really the main issue is not them having, going off in military attacks, which they could have, but look how pathetic their false flags are. Look at how small they look, right? Small. So what could they really do now that the Pentagon is with us, right? Because the Pentagon was always made up of people, right? Just regular people. And now, all military forces. And now they realize what was happening, at least on some level, right? So what you really have is, well, you gotta flip the banks, right? That's the most logical thing. Kim told me this 2 years ago. She said, well, we really need the military to go in, take control of the banks, because the military has people who actually know how to control all of these systems, right? Now, you wouldn't do that at the teller level. You would do it at all your key locations, right?
Right.
You do that at all your key locations where you actually have transfers going on, secret clandestine locations. Fort Bragg has their own terminal and other places like that, right? And if the actual base, like Fort Bragg, I don't know if they're complicit or resistant. I don't know. That's where it gets very dodgy in that world.
Right.
That's why everybody has to be called in to be like, because we need everybody, because we know we're going to have to take out a lot of our own people, I would imagine. Now, this is all just speculation on my part. I'm not outing anything, but, I've gotten these things right many, many times. And I would say that, that's a very plausible reality that you have them coming into that, and that's really to protect the people, right? So,
right.
So now would also be to defend against ISIS and the United Nations, which are on our soil already. ISIS, Islamic Brotherhood, which it's all the same. It's really, they should be called the Dragons. The Dragons are here. The Dragon families are here influencing different people to go to war.
Right.
Look, all the real military, not the show, not the Taibo kickboxing team that's out there, vandalizing the streets, Antifa, but the real guys that are hidden, behind the masks in Antifa, that are trained to fight, the real mercenaries, like I know that you are the ones that are really there, and that they're the cover for you. Right? They're all in there. We know that. We know that. Stand down. There's no good end for you. They already know where you are. They know what you're doing. There's no way for you to win. There is no way. All the ones who deceived all these poor people, put them in trances, in these Islamic holdups who feel like the only option right now is to wage a jihad. You are already surrounded. You're already surrounded.
Yeah.
You cannot win. You think you're safe in a mountain, but this is not Afghanistan. This is not a place where you can hide. The tech is too smart. What they're doing is too smart. You can't hide, and they've already surrounded you.
Yeah.
Stand down.
That's what I was kind of
don't
talking
have to
about
fight.
when I said that they don't have the intelligence anymore, meaning they don't have the satellites. They've been blinded, right? But the good guys are not, right? They have everything needed to tell what's going on and who's doing what and where they're at, and they'll be able to be found out. So if you're a part of making an internal coup happen, you're gonna be one of the ones that's going to suffer.
Look, they have convinced people, right, in these groups that they're so far ahead because they've been planning for so long. Right? They put all these things in place. They've got whole underground tunnels that go, routing systems that go all throughout the country, right? This is how they're getting things into Minnesota, right? They have this underground routing system to go, right? They can bring things in all the way from Mexico all the way up to, Minnesota, North Dakota, all the different bases where they're bringing in guns and trying to really arm all these people so they're ready to go and come and just wipe us out. So the nature of Sun Tzu, right, art of war, right, disarm your enemy, control every factor so that when you come out and go to war, you've already controlled all the factors. So I just want to point out to all of them, you think you're in control of all the factors. You're not in control.
You think you're strong when you're weak.
Yep.
Right, and Trump has been playing weak because he has not been attacking them. Right, he hasn't been attacking. But now, actually, Giuliani just said, "Now it's our turn to attack."
I mean, this isn't even like, I'm really genuinely appealing to them, because you are the people too. These guys who think that they're really high up in the agencies, and people have been all over, like hitting me up with different things, you telling me different things that are being written about me, being said about me, like, oh, this is happening, Tank's red flag here because there's an FBI investigation. There's been lots of fake investigations on me. There's been lots. I'm sure the FBI listens to everything we do, and so does the CIA. And you know what? When I'm talking, I'm thinking about them too. I'm fully aware that they're listening. And you know who listens most of the time is regular people who have kids, aspirations, dreams, who want to do something, who want to do good. We're the good guys. Stand down. Don't take action as directed by the Chinese elders. Find out where your orders are coming from. Right. Make sure, because we don't need to have a civil war. The damage will be more than any of us can recover from, and it won't even happen. It'll be so fast by the time you're already surrounded.
I was looking up the indictments. You remember the sealed indictments? It was up over 125,000. So, who's been making plans? Who long? Who's been preparing for this? And everything shows that Trump has been ahead of them on everything. And I mean, 1 year deltas and QAnon to show how far out they're planning this. They know to the day when the other side is going to bring out all the whistleblowers, right? Because they Q talked about that over a year ago, right? That they're going to have all these whistleblowers coming out, and now, but like the first one comes out, it's no longer a whistleblower. In order to be a whistleblower, they have to blow on something that's secret. Well, the transcript is not has been released. It's not secret anymore. It's not behind. It's not in the shadow. So what's there to blow a whistle on? Nothing. So Trump diffused it, you know, right off the gate, and then they've been stumbling ever since. So he's been ahead of them. The military has been working the plan, the good guys' plan. If you're against them, you're on the wrong side.
Hey guys.
Hi, sometimes Lisa.
Hi, I'm here for just a moment. Tank, that video you wanted, I sent it to you here in chat room and Telegram and your text message. I sent it everywhere. And if you want to listen or play it, it's at start at 54 seconds. Okay.
All right, cool. Thanks,
Okay.
I appreciate it.
All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
All right, so Dan, I'm going to send this to you so you can play this, because this will break down the exact meaning of all that stuff that we just discussed. So this guy has really good, he has a really accurate
Did you send
information. I'm sending it right now. Hang on.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Just check.
There you go. There you go.
But this is the actual Navy intel. The Navy was in control for a long time, by the way, and this was a problem,
you
right?
Mean maritime? You mean maritime law?
Right, exactly. That was right. So you had Admiral,
Admiralty.
John Wright,
Oh, okay.
right? He was frustrated to no end, right? As the Pindar trying to bring money in, and technically they were in charge of the Pentagon. And I believe that Putin actually tipped off. This is intel. This is usually I don't talk about things like this that I get from sources that I no longer trust. Not because they are lying to me, but because it's just so hard to know what's real unless I validate it with him. I don't even bring it up. But but Putin tipped off President Trump to let him know that the Navy the fix was in, and with the Navy, and that they were running the Pentagon, and that would make sense, right? Because everything's the watermark is at the top of Mount Everest,
Right.
So everybody's underwater, and that's why the Marines now are in charge. Or the Army? Actually, I'm not even sure about that.
The Marines are associated with the Marines, with the Navy, Marines and Navy.
Yeah, but one of them took control, right, of the Pentagon. That's the Marines and the Army. And I should know that, but I was thinking of the Marines because Dunford's a Marine, and Maddox, and usually the Marines are like one of the most feared forces on Earth, right? So,
I have this queued up. She said 50.
Yeah, pick it up at 54 seconds. Right?
Yeah. Okay. We're good.
I have a bombshell video to make. This is directly from my Navy intel source, and it's also come from some other sources as well. I'm going to post the link to the article, to the information, so that you guys can check it out as well. Actually, will I be able to do that? Yes, I will be able to. Okay, so let's get right into it. I'm going to read my Navy intel source's commentary on this information. Daniel, this is to confirm that the Trump administration has issued new activation orders for the United States Marine Corps Reserves. A new MERA Admins Marine Administrative Message, Directive number 550-/19, was enacted yesterday on October 3rd, 2019. Here is the full text of the MERA Admins Directive 550/19 packet, and I'll post that link right below this video so you guys can thoroughly examine this information. This is a somewhat complicated document with far-reaching consequences, so it is worthwhile to take some time and explain what this particular U.S. Marine Corps directive will accomplish. As of today, there are approximately 200,000 personnel in the United States Marine Corps. In addition to this, there are also another approximately 40,000 personnel in the USMC Reserve. In the Marine Corps Reserve, there are two distinct categories: SMCR, Selected Marine Corps Reserve, and IRR, Individual Ready Reserve. Selected reservists train 1 week in the month and 2 weeks continuously during the year and are considered obligors, those obligated by their oath to train and remain ready to be activated to full active duty status. And individual ready reservists are those personnel that have completed their term of active duty service, but who remain ready and are also obligated to be called back to active duty if, when, and as needed by the Marine Corps. Mara Admins 550/19 just authorized activation of all of the Marine Corps reserves to full active duty status. Both categories of reservists, SELRES Marines and IRR Marines, are all put on notice by this directive. The central objective of Directive 550/19 is to train Marine Corps reservists to assist local civil governmental agencies in quelling rebellions, insurrections, invasions, and/or coups. Activating this huge number of personnel will not happen overnight. It will take some weeks to process the sheer number of troops involved in Directive 550/19. Personnel will be instructed and trained in riot control, pacification, and all the methods of controlling, dispersing, and arresting anyone involved in breaking law and order. Of course, there is a catch, and it is a big one. The Marine Corps has a proud tradition of taking orders directly from the President of the United States throughout history. Their operations are not held accountable to congressional oversight. There will be no grandstanding, hand-wringing, or lying from traitors in the House Intelligence or Oversight Committees, or any other part of the almost completely corrupt Congress as Directive 550/19 is put into action. The USMC only take orders directly from POTUS, President of the United States, and those he designates like the SecDef, the Secretary of Defense. And POTUS has ordered all USMC reservists to active duty. This is the storm. If patriots are still on the fence as to whether this country is in the storm of history, the storm to take back our country, the storm to ensure our freedom for this and all succeeding generations, Directive 550/19 should put those doubts to rest. This is the storm. The current impeachment threat is not real. The talking points for the hopelessly loony left and normies and sheeple are not real. The talking points of the hopelessly corrupt fake news are not real. Directive 550/19 is real. People are waking up. Those that love their freedom and those that love their country will love this time in history. All others will not. Directive 550/19 will ensure their pain. Traitors all to God and country, this storm is for them. Pray for POTUS. Pray for the military. Pray for the USA. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. You heard it first from this channel. And I wanted to share a meme that my Navy intel source sent to me, which some of you have probably seen before. But I really, really like that.
The reality, they're not after me, they're after you.
So it's happening, folks. The storm is approaching. This was again activated on October 3rd, so a couple of days ago. And like my Navy intel source said, it's going to take some weeks to get this full thing processed and going. But President Trump is activating this, and you know why. If you've been watching this channel, you know exactly what's going to be happening.
So yeah, Dan, take note that on October 2nd, Kim successfully broke through the system, and I believe it was the same night, maybe Wednesday night, actually, that the high-level executive from Chase Bank was arrested on 16 indictments. That has not hit the mainstream news yet. Mm-hmm. Thomas Williams did mention it, and that is real. That is true. And so that also allowed Kim to transfer money out of the system and get it into probably the hands of the Pentagon, I would imagine. And therefore, on October 3rd, everybody waking up and realizing, okay, that's what we're waiting for, probably. Then from there we can move forward, because that was kind of her breaking the back, where she has everything on the financial end under control, where at least now getting the people in the banks that are stopping the progress of all humanity, keeping the wealth from the people, not acknowledging that they have been fired But by Kim bringing that money in, she demonstrates, look, not only am I bringing money into the country, I can bring it directly to the people. You know, and that's something I'm sure, knowing Kim, she recorded the whole thing and sent it out to every bank, every group in the world. You know, so that's what I would say is that's kind of the lineup. So what I would expect personally is that, you know, that's this is going to be exactly what he said, a great time in history. You know, and I love that Marines are some of my, they used to be some of my best contacts, and you know, I don't talk to as many guys anymore. I still have quite a few military contacts in all branches, but you know, it's always hard to tell. You know, I get as many warnings as I do intel. So
Right. Well, this is more than a warning. This is real, as he was saying. This is something that is actually underway, which, as I said, takes a few weeks to get these people active, right, and put them into place. But this is the window that we're looking through, and if it's involving, the banks that are not cooperating, and now there's going to be, people stationed everywhere that they can walk in and find those people with their burner phones and escort them out so the money can make it to the people.
What I would say about that, by the way, it will not take a few weeks. While we were talking, I texted one of my military people who said the individual ready reserve is a large group of people, and they are ready at all times. They're ready, and it would not take a couple weeks to get them organized.
Okay.
It would take a couple days at best, but probably more like a few hours. You know, that you would have a working force
because they're already ready.
Mm-hmm,
They're
right.
ready, and that's just get the call, and then they're heading to their cars and going to where they need to go.
So. Right. So that's what you have take place right now, and you know what? To all those importance, we appreciate what you're doing and what you have to do, and I can't emphasize enough that POTUS is our guy. Right now,
Yeah.
some of my white hats. I remember when he got elected. They were all about the RV, and I had a couple guys who were telling me like, no, he's our guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I suspect that they knew what was going on, or they knew what needed to happen at some level. And I didn't see it for a while. I mean, solid year. I couldn't hardly believe that President Trump was the right choice. I mean, it wasn't until maybe 6 months into his presidency that I even started to realize like, nah, he's doing some good things.
Yeah, I was skeptical in the beginning. Not that I didn't like Trump. I really admired him as a businessman and what he's done, and I even enjoyed his super ego, right? I found it refreshing, the way he approached things, and even though it was in your face about a lot of things, that was great. But I wasn't sure because he's coming from the billionaires club, right? And I'm very suspect of the people that were there. How many are really good guys, and after all, he owned casinos. He did timeshares. These are on the edge. And the thing, it looks like he just was on the edge, and now he's firmly on the side of good. Whether you like the gambling or whether you like timeshares, doesn't matter, right? What he's doing now, his actions speak louder than anything else that he's done, and it all is put down when you see him on that one video where he puts his arms around the flag and hugs it with a big smile. That says everything. He's for us. This is a once in a millennium, multiple millenniums that this is happening, and we're here right now. Be on the right side of history. This is the time. This is the time.
No, it's really an amazing time that we're in. I I spoke to the National Liberty Alliance guys today, and we were just talking. They have their conference call tomorrow night. Anybody can go. It's nationallibertyalliance.org. You know, and the guy there, John, is just a bank of information and very organized and very clear about what he's saying, and how to do things. And he's already put these pieces in place. And Ron Davis was a little skeptical, because Ron Davis is very much a like me, kind of like let's go now, kind of guy. But there's common ground here, because even the National Liberty Alliance, they say now's the time. This is the time. Now, I can't imagine a better time for the people to be standing up and organizing common law courts and getting these things together, and these administrative positions being filled, and the banks having money come in, and us being able to go out and actually provide working positions. We have a certified letter that is all typed up and ready to go, that is going to be delivered directly to Trump to let him know, because I'm looking for his support. Right? I want him to acknowledge what we're doing publicly, so that while this is happening with the military, the people at the same time are raising up. And you know what? You don't necessarily need to terrify people with military tribunals. You can actually have the people call together the court, right? And now you can have a court of record, and you can actually have them, pass judgment and have it carried out, and all that can happen, right? So anybody out there that's so inclined, please get involved. And you can go to the nationallibertyalliance.org. We're actually, I spent the whole day working to build a little more comprehensive and simplified version of their site, because there's so much information on there, right? And it can get a little confusing. And I'm just doing that for them to try to help get the message out in an effective way. And that will go live this week, where people can just we can start to gather names together. We need a minimum of 30,000 people actively involved and engaged. So, tell everybody keep talking about it, because, we only get one shot at this. And this is it. So, tell a friend, tell an enemy. It's, I love what that guy just said there. The Jewish intel guy, when he said, for those who love freedom, right? You love freedom. If you love your life, take advantage of it, because now is the time. Because there, today, let's see if I pull this up actually. Joe Biden's useless, treacherous self, put some other stupid comment. Every time, it's funny. I take it personally now. Every time he talks about President Trump, I just really, really do. So Bernie Sanders, who had a heart attack just recently in Nevada, came out and he's said something idiotic like, maybe I'm old-fashioned, but I believe we should have a president who believes in the United States Constitution. Well, Bernie Sanders can go to hell for all I care, because he is clearly a socialist, and there's no socialist version of the Constitution.
Right.
So that's one thing. Now, the other thing is Joe Biden. Joe Biden, what an idiot. This guy comes out and says, Donald Trump is the definition of corruption. So I tagged Joe Biden. I hit him back, on Twitter, and I said, Joe Biden, corruption. And I pulled the definition: is the abuse of entrusted power for private gain. Well, let's think about that. Now, we have Biden on tape, right, bragging about how, he basically bribed Ukrainian prime minister, whatever it is, and basically said, you're not getting this money unless you fire this guy, and forced him to take the man out of his career position because he was investigating Hunter Biden's company, right? Now we find out that Mitt Romney is connected directly to the same company, right? Not to mention all of the connections, because the Clinton Foundation has given or received more money from the Ukraine.
Oh, well, guess what on that? Glenn Beck did a walkthrough of the whole timeline. Amazing. $1.8 billion disappeared in the beginning of the scenario and at the end. 2 times $1.8 billion disappeared. And they're not talking about that. Where did that go? Soros is tied into this. The Clinton Foundation is tied into this. So the question is, where is that money? Whose money is it? It's American taxpayers' money. And where is it? So there's they keep talking about the $50,000 salary or that he's getting Hunter Biden. It's nothing to do with anything. It's the other people in the middle. The distraction is Biden.
Yeah, it's a joke.
Yeah.
So they've been now this letter from Kim the other day on Friday night. Now, Kim reminded them. She reminded them, right? After she transferred money into the system. Now, then also on the same day you have the military deployed, right? So she made it public, like just to remind you of what you were warned about. Like you were told, right? You are not entitled to these riches, to this world, to this life, the way you think. It is not yours. You had a job to protect people, and you failed at your task, and you sit and you wait for something to change. You wait for your chance. You wait for your savior, who has no intention of saving you, and cannot raise from the dead. So they will not raise from the dead, but what will raise up is the people. And the people can raise up, and now's the time. So that's where we're at. And we are taking action on many fronts, from disease and healthcare to the legal side. We are putting things out for people. A lot of people have hit me up asking for John's number. Now, I can't just give out John's number. We will regulate that for him. We're helping him because we understand what he's doing. He can't do it alone. So we have a much larger team and more resources than he does. So anybody who's looking for some of the things that John discussed in reference to cardiovascular disease or AIDS or cancer, you can reach out to me directly at Stephen Rao at speakprojectmedia.com, and I will probably not see it, so don't do that. Send it to admin at speakprojectmedia.com. I get so many emails, and like the girls, I got crazy. I'm always missing things. It's not on purpose. I chase you up with it. So go that way. And I'm sure I wouldn't surprise me if Senator Lisa jumped on and give me a different email. But if you send it there, so admin at speakprojectmedia.com, and you can reach out to us, and we'll help. If you have a situation, we'll walk you through the steps and help you get some of John's helpful herbs, herbal remedies. Yeah. So, Dan, I gotta go. Actually, I gotta get on a call here.
All right. Just want to point out one thing. We did miss a show, and that started this all.
Aha! That's indeed. We told you.
That's just manifesting 101. All right. So everyone, thanks for joining us. Participate by subscribing, pass the link around. It's an important day. Get the information out. If you've done it before, great. Do it again. Grab this link and share it. Share it everywhere. Let people know this is the time. And we'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
Peace out from the Philippines.
Peace out from New York.